G'day everybody, Shane here. For you who have not seen me before, this is my weekly video blog, and this week I wanted to talk to you about communication. Communication. What is communication? Now ask yourself the question before we start: how many of you felt that you were not listened to when you were young? By family members, by teachers, by your friends, by relatives, by anybody. How many of you felt that way, that you were not listened to? Ask yourself the question. Because I can tell you from personal experience myself, I felt that I wasn't listened to at all. Now my situation is uniquely different because I was adopted when I was a child. So I had a different set of circumstances to deal with on my own. So the question you want to ask yourself is, how does that relate to you now, today? For those of you who are around my age, in their 40s, or for the younger generation who are watching this today as well, who feel that they haven't been listened to on any level, and that includes work colleagues, work bosses. Okay, this is a big problem we have in this world right now, because communication seems to have gone by the wayside. We have text messages and we have emails, okay, and how often does anybody get on the phone? The biggest problem I find today with people is they prefer to sit on a text message or not even talk on the phone or an email, rather than actually communicate face to face or on the telephone itself, okay? Now this is an issue that we have in this world, and I know from myself personally, we have to start learning to communicate. We have to learn to start listening and communicating our message across to people. Because I can tell you now from personal experience, my message across to other people in the past has got mixed signals. It's been confused. And now I'll tell you now, I'm not a great one for getting my message across, but I'm improving on that with my communication skills. But that also includes communicating to the other person how you feel about what they're trying to say to you. Because if you do not understand what they're saying, what happens? We get angry, we get cranky, and we yell and scream and we get frustrated because we can't understand what they're saying. This is a big problem because of the simple fact that we don't take the time to step back and ask the question. If somebody says to you something that you can't understand, then you need to step back a little bit and say, okay, so what you're saying to me, Robin, or John, whoever it may be at the time, so what you're saying to me is blah, 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 whatever the sentence may be. And you ask and say, look, I didn't understand what you were trying to say to me. Can you communicate to me in another way? Or use the question to ask them to repeat what they've said in a different way. Now, the same goes for the other person who is listening to your question by asking them, right? For those people who get cranky or frustrated when they say to you, didn't you understand what I was saying? Are you stupid or something? That's time for people like yourself to step back and also rein in the reins a little bit and say, oh, okay, all right, so what is it that you didn't understand that you need to clarify again? In this new world that we are coming into, as the years progress down, the biggest thing that we need to learn in this world right now, and this is a real passion of mine, because I'm learning it myself still, I'm getting better every day, but I'm learning it, is to communicate. So people can understand what we are trying to communicate to them about. Now I understand my message may get mixed up sometimes when I do my video blogs, and I would encourage you to leave, criticism if you feel you want to. But this is the point. Today's very important video blog, because I believe communication is the way for the future. When we have communication and we're understood exactly what we're saying, then we haven't got the anger and the frustration and the ensuing fights and problems that happen out of lack of communication. Now this is a learning thing. This is something that you just can't come to overnight. And obviously from my point, okay, this is something that's happened to me as a child. So maybe from some of you out there may be issues with your childhood where you feel you weren't listened to or acknowledged. Now I'll tell you, I've done that in the past too, where I haven't acknowledged people. It's a learning curve, and we don't understand it until somebody points that out to us and says, you know what, are you listening to me? Are you listening to what I'm saying? And there lies in the problem. Now, it's not necessarily means that you have to specifically say, yeah, I get what you're saying. If you sit there and pay attention without interacting, if they say, are you listening? You say, yeah, I'm listening. Right? Because at the end of the day, at the end of that conversation, if they say to you, so what did you think? Or do you have an opinion on that? You can say, I'm not really sure. I heard you. I'm not sure that what do you think? And then just throw the question back to them. What do you think about it? And if you really feel you need to give an opinion, give an opinion. But the biggest thing today is to learn to communicate. Step back and let go of the frustration, embrace it and let it go. Right? Because we're all trying to communicate in this world. Okay, we all want a better world, but listening to each other and getting our message across is the greatest gift that we can give ourselves. It is a new learning for all of us, everybody. Even me. Even I'm learning to communicate to people around me and listen at the same time. So I hope you got something beneficial out of this video blog today. It was very important for me to get this across, because I feel it seems to be a resonating factor going on over the last few weeks, and I felt that I needed to make that known this week in this week's video blog for you. So anyway, that's me for this week's video blog. Love and light to you all, wherever you are across the world. Blessings. Have a great weekend. And I'll see you all next Friday for next week's video blog. Love and light, people. Bye.